I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigars.
Don't be an asshole today. Hi there. I'm good. How's
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm surviving my Peloton so far.
I see Joni writing about it, but I didn't see anything from you.
She just got one today of her own, but she was on mine, and I'm not ready to post pictures of myself on it. But little known fact about the Peloton: the shoes click into the pedals. So getting those shoes out of the pedals is not an easy task. You almost have to get in shape just to get your shoes. Like, we were both leaving our shoes attached to the pedals and just taking our feet out of the shoes.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Like, woman dies after falling off Peloton, foot still in.
I am surprised we haven't heard of any injuries like that other than Mr. Big's death of the heart attack. It's more likely you're going to fall off the bike and out the window if you're next to a window, because I see me falling out the window with the bike still attached to my shoes. Taking the whole thing with me.
That's fantastic. Oh, goodness. So I got to tell you what I'm having tonight, because this was one of my favorite Christmas presents. A while back, when we were into rum a little bit, I pulled out the Red Leg that I had bought, and I thought that, like, I was this, crafty, nerdy, look what I found, this special blend rum that I bought at a food show that you can never get again. But here's the thing. So Hazel's sister Angie sent me over a 6-pack of Red Leg rum. That, like, the whole deal with it is that it's got vanilla and ginger essence in the rum, but it's mixed with a cola called 1886, which is like a real old, intense cola. It's
really,
and in the can.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Like a rum and Coke in the can.
Oh, a canned rum and Coke.
Yes.
Wow.
I am so thrilled. We were opening gifts at like 9:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh my God, I have to try this. So it's like I had it with my my Christmas breakfast.
Easily chilled in a can. That's
Easily
nice.
chilled. My fridge is stocked. And if you want to add a little lime, then you just hit it with some Diet Coke with lime.
Coke. Funny you should say that, because I didn't bring the bottle in, but I'm having the gay. What's that? Gay, the rum.
Mount Gay.
Mount Gay rum, because of our Pride news today, but I forgot to bring the bottle in, and Coke. So I'm having a rum and Coke today too.
Oh, so perfect. All right, so that you said it. We were having our queer entertainment news reporter Nic Austin on. He's been patiently waiting in the green room. So let's see what Nick's got to say, because
yeah.
I'm sure Nick knows this, but we are rolling headstrong into award season.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, we are.
SAG Awards. There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
We were just talking a little about the fact that we are rolling into award season.
Yes, I know. That's what I've been poring over like all morning and afternoon.
Big day, right? It was SAG Awards today.
Yeah, SAG nominations came out, and the long list for the BAFTAs came out also.
Yes. I guess I'm just gonna throw this out there, like Olivia Colman for a BAFTA, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's like it's entirely possible.
She's our Meryl Streep, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's our Meryl Streep over here.
Good way to put that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
have either of you seen The Lost Daughter?
I did not, but I see ads for it all the time. You saw it?
It's so good. Yes, you
Oh,
both definitely need to see it.
I want to. I the only thing I've loved everything I've seen her in. You know, going way back to Broadchurch, when that's kind of like when I first, no, I shouldn't say that. 2012 was a sitcom over here about the behind the scenes committee that was setting up for the London Olympics, and it was a comedy, and it was fantastic. It was filmed like The Office. And she was in that, and I loved her then. I loved her in Broadchurch because that was a whole, you know, flip to the funny stuff to, you know, awkward, you never all of a sudden the serious drama. But the only thing I didn't like her in was The Favorite, where she played.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Didn't like anything about that. From the minute
That's
the
what she
first
won an
note,
Oscar for.
I know. I know. I felt like such a jerk. From the minute the first note, I hated the score. So I hated the music. I hated everything. I hated everything about it. I can't believe that I made it through to the end of that movie. Like, I so wanted to just take my popcorn and go home. It was, yeah. No, and I, you know, I mean, it just goes to show you, what do I know? Because she did end up winning an Oscar for that. But so
Well, it was a huge surprise when she won. So, you know, it's a lot of people
she's
probably
really
felt the
good
same
in it.
way.
I mean, she's good in it. It's the character that's so unlikable. So that, I guess that means she was really good when the character
Right.
physically making you sick to your stomach, she's doing something right. So yeah. So I figured you would be super busy with just with that alone. But there was so much more gay news. I feel like every other tweet I saw was like a gay news story. But I have one for you, but you go ahead. I want to
Oh,
know
wow.
this one, but you go ahead.
Let's see
Okay.
what Nick brings us
Let's
today.
see what Nick
Yes.
brings to the table before Denise tries to one up him.
Yeah, let's see if we overlap at all. So the first one that I have here is about good old country France. They
France,
had,
as they say over here.
France.
France. Yeah.
They just lifted the blood ban on men who have sex with other men, and they join Italy, Hungary, Brazil, and several other countries that have also done away with the outdated law that prohibits men who have sex with other men from donating blood.
Oh,
Okay.
do we still have that here? I don't, that's not
We
a thing.
do.
We do. I
Yeah.
didn't know that was still a thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's here in the United States, it's if you haven't had sexual relations with another man for a year, then you're allowed to donate blood. But if it's been sooner than that, then you're not able to.
Oh, I didn't know that was still a
All they did
law.
was alter that a little bit from saying, no, you can't ever.
Yeah,
If you've been inactive for a year, you can.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
how badly do you want to donate blood that you're just going to like turn down some decent sex because, well, now I got to donate blood. I can't do this.
I know, exactly.
One way to look at that, yes.
I know. And so regardless, for me, I haven't given blood just because of just how homophobic just that stance is. So I've always just said, well, fuck it,
Yeah,
obviously.
suck. Look at us lesbians having to pick up the slack.
Yeah, you guys y'all have to need to donate some more blood. So
right. I'll donate on behalf of you.
thank you.
Here you go. This is for Nick.
But yeah, so France
That's progressive. That's progressive for France because it seemed like they were going in another direction. They were getting a little bit more conservative over everything, politics, everything, because they had their own female Trump running against Macron in the last election. And I just thought, oh my God, if this woman gets in, everything is going to change over there because they're so liberal about everything,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good news for them though. That really is.
Yeah. So that is first on the list. And so then
thank you for that European hinge to the news. It's global.
We got a
Where's his
few
logo?
more. We got a few more too, so no worries about
Okay.
that. But
It's very
first, yeah,
Mhm.
we try and keep it a little bit more global. You know, we're all around here.
Exactly. We don't know who's watching this. We have to cover all the bases.
That's true. But this one is a United States based news piece. So I'm not sure if you've heard of the gay and trans panic defense that is commonly used.
That's when someone can say that they were freaked out by getting hit on by a gay person, so they killed them.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Oh.
Just to simplify that, that's the gay
Ano-
panic defense.
Another
Yeah.
thing I didn't know about. That's a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing here in the United States.
Oh my God.
Sad but true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than half of the states in the United States here have the gay panic defense. But on a happier note, New Hampshire, we got one state which has always been a blue state. So I'm very surprised, you know, for how progressive New Hampshire is that they even had this defense, but they are taking steps to outlaw the gay panic defense.
Oh.
Yeah, and so they're joining a dozen of states that have prohibited this type of criminal defense of manslaughter. So they join the District of Columbia, California, Illinois, Rhode Island, Nevada, Connecticut, Maine, Hawaii, New York, New Jersey, Washington, Colorado, Virginia, Vermont, Oregon, and Maryland. But, you know,
Not
that's only a
Florida.
dozen.
Not
Yeah, not
Florida.
Florida. Things are still crazy in Florida. You can
Wow.
always
Governor DeSantis.
I still would have thought we didn't have it here. We're such a melting pot of a state.
Yeah,
many
but you got to think about who's
here.
running it, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the only thing.
I thought I read that there was a couple of states that were going to now try and do away with that. If like that was why it was I think it was one of the talking points of like getting your blue ass out there and voting in these midterms, because if Republicans get into office, here's a list of things that they're going to start doing, and that was one of the things. So I think that was how I even realized. I kind of thought it was like an across the board thing, like if you hadn't said New Hampshire, I would have thought that it was using that defense was banned everywhere, but then I read that article and now I'm listening to this, and I'm like, oh wow, there's states that are perfectly okay with it, so yeah,
There's still states that will allow that to be a legal recourse, which is just baffling.
it's sickening. It's sickening because it's such a thing that they can use no matter what, kind of like the whole Matthew Shepard thing. It should have gone back to that.
Yeah.
Or Brandon Tina, Boys Don't Cry. Like it should have gone back to that, because that's really where it stems from and kind of made us aware of it.
Yeah.
No, it's true. And that was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And
I remember
20
going to
years
see
past.
that, and like I couldn't believe how much it affected me, like going to see Boys Don't Cry. And I remember getting out of the movie theater and throwing up everything I ate.
Wow.
I was just like, my stomach was like, so I just like threw up by my front tire before I got in the car. And I was just like, what is even happening here? I was a mess. I was just an actual mess. I think it was, it just wasn't on our radar at the time. Like we knew it was out there, and it didn't really have an impact on us because of course our community is just like, whatever. If you want to
I'll tell you what,
yeah.
I could not watch it the first time around. Like it was just too hard to watch that scene, but I did see it. I did watch it again. I actually happened to have watched that movie just a couple of months ago because it came up on Hulu. Like sometimes the old movies come up, but believe it or not, it wasn't my first time watching it, because knowing me, that would have been the first time around for me.
Jay's about 20 years behind. Yeah, that's about right.
But it was still so relevant, it was still kind of unfortunately
totally
relevant. So
yeah, unfortunately relevant. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. Well, let's well done, New Hampshire. That was you
Yes,
get rid of that.
kudos to
You
New
get rid of that. You
Hampshire.
get rid of that, and you be proud of you got rid of it.
Yeah, and also some really good news. I'm not sure who's keeping up with Jeopardy, but
My
Amy
mother,
Schneider.
Amy,
Amyschneider, right?
Amy, I didn't know
Yes.
her name. Yeah.
Yeah, so Amy Schneider is the first trans woman contestant to pass the $1 million mark on Jeopardy.
Wow.
Well done. And didn't she just get burglarized?
Yeah, she said because it happened over the weekend, and she was talking about how it was just such a gut punch to her, that, she's had this huge role of winning because it's her 30, she's won 30 consecutive rounds of Jeopardy. And
Does that beat Ken Jennings?
not yet. So
Okay,
she
that's
is
who
at
she's shooting
number
for now.
4. She's at number 4 currently.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what happened over the weekend was she was burglarized, and she said that, it was just, ups and downs with positive and negative
Highs
with
and
things
lows.
for
Yeah,
her.
talk about
Yeah.
that, right? Jeez. What a shame. What a shame. But yeah, my mom Jeopardy's like a religion. She feels
Yeah.
like it's like she feels like if she does her words with friends and she watches Jeopardy, that she is keeping her mind sharp.
Yes.
So that's her deal, man. She is all about Jeopardy. So she'll tell me stuff about it all the time. And this is, currently she's on a let's go Amy bender.
Yeah, whenever you have somebody who's, just pulling out all of these wins, back to back, it's hard not to root for them regardless of who they are.
Yeah.
But this is
How
incredible,
smart.
just
Yeah,
historic.
it's just go, like how smart. I mean, you have to be incredibly smart,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeopardy, man.
You have to know about everything. Like there's
Yes.
just so many different things, different
Yeah.
topics, subjects.
Yeah, there's no way to like focus on one thing and learn everything about it. It's like your scope
Right.
is so broad.
Mhm.
Whew. Yeah, it's tough. We got a show over here called The Chasers, and it's regular people going up against the most winningest pub quiz people.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're not just everyday people. Like one guy's a lawyer, one guy's a doctor, one guy was a teacher. They're already educated to begin with, but then they focus all their free time on pub quiz knowledge, which can be like, which family ruled England before the Stuarts, and you're like, who's the Stuarts? Like I'm like, I know nothing. They're like the Tudor family. Oh my god, I thought that was just so. It's I mean, I just sit here like a big dummy until they get to pop culture, and then I'm like, woo.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one we can do.
But I know nothing from like I can touch on the 60s and 70s, but going back any further, nothing. Empty.
Yeah.
Let alone in another country. So
Right.
yeah, it's horrible. But some of it is fun. Like I like that show. We have another one called Pointless where they'll give you a clue that could have a lot of possible answers, but you've got to pick the one that the least amount of people would know. So your brain automatically goes to the most popular answer. But like it'll say name anyone in the cast of Notting Hill. So you immediately go to Hugh Grant, Julia Roberts, but no, they want you to pick like Hugh Bonneman or whatever his name is that was in it, or the one that played the sister, or the one that played the wheelchair friend. You know what I mean? Like they want you to know that because that's going to get you the least amount of points, and that's how you win with the least amount. If you get 0, you won.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because it's like to retrain your brain to not go right to what you know. So
right.
yeah, that one's like Oh, talk about working your brain out. Yeah, that's the one that'll give you a headache real quick.
You know,
Okay.
I will have to say over in the UK, like the amount of like game shows that are come up with and just all the concepts are incredible because we recently just, which should be no surprise, but we actually stole the Chasers as a new game show over here in the States, and it's called The Chase, and they
Yes.
actually use Jeopardy contestants as the ones
Oh,
that, you know, the
That
group
you
has
have
to
to go up
beat.
against. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, my God, of course they did. Of course they
Yep.
stole it.
It's
It's so
that's what we do.
it is so right up your like, isn't Call Me Kat based on our Miranda?
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
the funniest show I had ever seen when I first
oh
watched it.
yeah.
Like,
You watched that
man,
show too. I didn't think anyone watched that show but me.
I can't, we haven't got it yet, but I'm dying to
Oh,
watch it so I can make that comparison because I know
yeah.
a lot of things are different because I follow Maya Bialik on Instagram and I see clips and everything and I'm like, oh, so it's a cat cafe, not magic shop.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, but it's same premise. Got a crush on the, the guy and cocky little swishy gay man, right? Leslie Jordan.
Yep.
Got a little swishy gay man in Miranda too. And the guy from Lucifer was the one who played Miranda's crush,
Mm.
Gary. I just remember
Yeah.
Tom Ellis. Yeah, he's come a long way. Yeah, that's funny. Well done, America, for ripping off the Brits.
That's what we're best at.
So true.
So for more news, now this is something that is going to be very specific to England. So there was a protest held outside the BBC over their coverage that attacks transgender people. And I'll go ahead and like go into it. So hundreds showed up outside the British broadcaster's offices months after they published an article claiming that it is common for trans lesbians to pressure cis lesbians into sexual relationships, citing two anti-trans organizations.
I heard
I've,
nothing about this.
yeah.
Not
So
a
that wasn't a
thing.
big like piece of news. I
Wow.
was wondering.
And I've been watching, normally I'll watch like ITV news because they can sum up everything in 15 minutes as opposed to like, an hour of the BBC news. So I was actually watching the BBC news because, they're trying to pretty much get Boris to resign for having parties at Downing Street during lockdown.
Boy, they're not letting up on him, huh?
Wow, they're not, because they keep finding more, and now they found the leaked email with the invite. Bring your own food.
Mm.
BYOD exclamation mark.
Oh my gosh, no.
It's out there now. So I have been watching BBC News more and more and more, and I can't believe this. Well, obviously, would they report on it if they were in the wrong? Now that I think about it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
But I haven't really then you would think that Sky News or ITV News would jump all over it and be like, look what the BBC started. But I haven't seen anything about that on Twitter, nothing. And I follow a lot of organizations that have to do with, trans, and whether it's LGBTQIA or whatever. But, if they're more trans focused, in fact, I just started following one today on Instagram. And I have not seen a thing. I wonder what they published an article.
Yeah, which, the whole article, just like hearing about it, it just doesn't make any sense to me, but it's about how there are trans lesbians who pressure cis lesbians into, what did I say, into relationships. And I've never heard of such a thing happening just in general. Like, who pressures people into relationships?
Yeah.
That's a little cringy. That's a little cringy.
Yeah.
Maybe a butch lesbian
I would think
woman.
that's an individual thing, just a person thing. Just an individual would do that, right? No matter
Yeah.
what.
Right, a
Like,
certain kind of person, not so much whether
personality.
they were happen to be
Right.
trans or not. It could be, some moron from the convenience store that's, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
wow. Wow.
I know
Jesus,
that one's a
England,
little
get your shit
strange.
together.
But yeah, no, I completely agree. Like you would think that it's an individual thing. Like, it can't be assigned to a specific type of
Right.
person.
So were the
And
people that were out there, were the people that were out there protesting trans lesbians saying, we don't do this?
yeah,
This
they
is
were,
so wrong. We don't do this. Like, who are you talking to?
yeah, it was people who were saying, yeah, we're not bullying people into relationships. This is just anti-trans
Love
propaganda.
me. That's what I do with my cat. That's what I do with my cat. I don't really do that with my wife.
I know,
But
it's
I
like,
do it with my pets a lot.
I know, it's like, how do you bully someone into going into a relationship?
Right.
That is something I'd love to figure out.
It's not really a quality that, right? It's not really a quality that attracts people.
Right.
It's so
Mhm.
funny. Imagine like a cis lesbian being like, I don't think so. And then the trans one going, no, really. No, really. No, really. We're awesome. We're
There's
so
already
awesome.
the U-Haul, that whole U-Haul joke thing, so that's already going on anyway. So
Yeah, it's like, got a U-Haul out back. It's like, you're not saying no. You're moving in with me right now.
like right now, you're not even getting your stuff. I brought a U-Haul with stuff in it for
So
you.
let's go. This is an
It's just-
hourly rate. I've got it for an hourly
Right.
rate. We gotta go.
It's just
It's
crazy.
not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah.
It's so not true. Like,
Because
oh
of
my
how
God.
ridiculous it is. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta donate. I gotta throw some cash at those protesters. Keep it going. Keep it
Yes.
going.
Yeah.
Holy shit. How did I miss that? Oh man.
Well, let's see, because here is another one that is specific to the UK.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
But it's a good one. It's a good one.
Okay.
It's positive. So last piece of news. So the UK is to pardon all past convictions of consensual homosexual activity.
Yes.
So
Saw
Home
that.
Secretary Priti Patel. So she declared, so this is what she was quoted. She said, it is only right that where offenses have been abolished, convictions for consensual activity between same-sex partners should be disregarded too, which I thought was pretty amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because didn't they do like a one-off for Alan Turing
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
kind of
Like
like,
after his
scrub
death.
that out of his legacy,
Yeah.
that he was, but I mean, he's literally broke the codes, to help win the war.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's, that's got to be attached to his name. Like that's
Mhm.
no. So that's that's amazing. That is good news. This is like the one good thing Priti Patel has said in the last month. Honestly, oof.
Well,
This cabinet is a shitstorm of a mess.
oh, good old Boris Johnson, right?
Bojo the clown, Bojo. He got shit on so hard in Parliament that I had to put it on and watch it because they have those meetings, where they all just like scream and shout at each other, but yet they end it with "my good sir." It's supposed to make it better that their veins are popping out of their forehead. "My good sir." So I had to watch a little of that, and they just trounced him. They just trounced him to the point of like at one point the cameras were on him when he was just sitting there taking it, and he was like, and I actually think I think the goal here is to get him to admit that he did something wrong because he keeps denying it and he keeps, not answering the questions and saying, look, the whole thing's under investigation. I can't comment on it, but were you there? It's under investigation. I can't comment on it, but were you there? So, they're just seriously raking him over the coals on a daily basis. It's amazing. And the thing of it is that like if he was doing other things right, you could just let it go. But
Mhm.
Right.
when you think of how everything is just stacking up now,
Yeah.
first it was the wine and cheese meeting, then it was Dominic Cummings, like during lockdown, you weren't supposed to leave your county, and he drove like 500 miles to get an eye exam. And it was just like, you got busted, you got caught leaving your county when no one else is allowed to leave their county. Like, there's nothing special about you guys that you get to break the rules. It's crazy.
Right. True.
So yeah, he's not doing well. He's not handling it well. He doesn't have that Teflon thing like the American politicians. If they don't say anything, it didn't happen. He just
Right.
throwing it at him left and right, trying to get something to stick. So it's going to be messy. All right, let me see if I got you on this piece of news.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm ready
you might
for it.
not, because this is kind of more in the lesbian realm. Let me just find it again. Here we go. Okay, so dun, dun, dun. It was announced today that Dana Piccoli is to manage a new queer media collective called News is Out. Did you know about this?
Ooh,
It's a
no.
collaborative. They received initial funding from the Google News Initiative Innovation Challenge in November. So the collaboration will include 7 LGBTQ publishers across the US, and it'll focus on business sustainability and producing great journalism. So I thought this was pretty cool. And here, Dana was the founder and editor-in-chief of Queer Media Matters. That might ring, right?
Mhm.
She was a former managing editor at Bella Media Channel for Bella Books. And she's written a couple of novels too, this bitch. She was named the Advocate Magazine's Champion of Pride. And the News is Out is one of 7 news industry collaborations incubated by Local Media Association. And the 7 publishers that'll be working all together, and these are going to be the familiar names: the Bay Area Reporter, launched in 1971, LGBTQ plus media, oldest digital media weekly newspaper in San Francisco. The Dallas Voice, LGBTQ Texas, publishing every Friday since 1984. Philadelphia Gay News, the Q Voice, Tag Magazine. That's a good one. I remember being interviewed by them. The Washington Blade and Windy City Times will all be contributing. That's pretty cool, right?
That is
Yeah,
really
that is
cool.
pretty cool.
That's awesome. I worked with Dana. I did Klexicon in London about 3-4 years ago, and we were on a lot of different panels together. So I knew who she was. I had never met her, so it was like pretty neat to be able to meet her. And she was mediating a couple of panels that I went to go actually see. And then I think she was not on the panel, but at mine, because I mediated one on podcasting with Rosie Wilby and a couple other people. And it was really cool. I didn't understand the whole concept of Klexicon, and I still don't. But it was nice to be asked. It was nice to be nominated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's another 6 degrees for you.
Right. Yeah, I
That's
did. I rubbed a lot of
impressive.
elbows. I hung out with Nicole Pacent, who
Right.
I just saw is in, what is she in? She's in something.
Yeah, what is she? I was gonna say, where do I know her from?
South
I know
of
her.
Nowhere. South of Nowhere was a big one.
Yeah.
And I gotta see, because she's in something. What's ending? Something's ending. Is it This Is
something
Us?
I'm gonna start watching. What is that?
It might be This Is Us.
Oh.
No, sorry,
Yeah.
Blackish.
That's not.
Blackish.
Oh, okay.
Blackish. Blackish, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I got to hang out with her.
Oh, that's
Right.
cool.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. So I scooped you.
Yes, you did. I did not hear about this at all.
Well,
I'm
I
like,
don't know
where's
if
my
this
invite?
counts. I don't know if this counts, but I have Peloton Pride news.
Ooh, okay. Yes, I want to hear
I'm
Peloton.
right.
It's
Make
all
it quick,
about my
man. We got 5 minutes.
It's all about my Peloton, Nick.
And go.
I'm surviving it. they have pride rides.
Pride
So
rides.
yeah, and like when you go on and there are other people on there riding with you, and they play like different like music that's supposed to be
Pride anthems.
LGBTQ. Yeah, and the person that's doing it, she's like really inspiring you for be who you are, and be proud of you, but the pride ride is about the people that are on the ride with you. Then you kind of get it's the community, that's in there riding with you. I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't know that was a thing. So because you could pick like the type of music, you could pick the, people have favorite instructors. So, and they have pride wear Peloton clothes.
Okay, so you could get
There we
rainbow
go.
Peloton shoes. Rainbow Peloton
Not the
shoes?
shoes, but the clothes. The shoes are the shoes. You got to click them in those pedals. And
I said I'll be visiting in February, knock on your door, and you'll be like, I can't, I'm stuck on the Peloton. I can't.
yes, I can't get out of the Peloton.
But pride rides.
Pride rides. Well, I did read an article that wasn't the girl that Big, his favorite instructor
Allegra.
she's a real instructor, but she's gay.
Is she? I didn't know if she was real.
Really?
I was wondering that. So she is
I
real.
think I read that I read that she was. What a cock up that is. I just read they cut him out of the final scene.
Yeah.
did.
And just like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
finally getting into it. And it's
Mhm.
yeah, it took a while to get its footing, but now I'm okay with it. But I really
Yeah.
think this one-off 10 is enough.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
I don't know
agree.
if it should get renewed. Like I just don't.
Mhm.
I feel like
Mhm.
the same storylines will get worked over and over.
They don't know where to go with it. I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think
Yeah.
they really don't know where to take that. So
Yeah, they're
they're
trying
trying
to
to
cover.
take Miranda.
Yeah, but all levels of diversity. You have your
Yes.
non-binary,
Everything.
gender fluid, queer. You've got your
Mhm.
chick in the wheelchair that's the snotty boss.
Oh,
You
right.
Yeah.
you've got, I mean, like they're going full out. Bobby Lee
Yep.
is the token Asian. Like
Black
Yeah.
Lives
they're
Matter.
really, really trying so hard. It's just
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But
it's very
Denise,
crazy.
we called it, didn't we? We called it regarding Miranda.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, we did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
We did.
they actually did it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole thing was kind of upstaged because Carrie peed in a Diet Peach Snapple bottle.
Right. It was.
Come on, man! Like, give us a moment.
Yes,
That's
you're
funny.
right. It
Oh
was.
man, this was fun. You did good, Nick. You did good.
Yeah, and so did both of you, scooping me on those two news pieces.
Well, listen, this time next month, we'll be able to talk about a lot more nominees, right? Because
That's true.
after
Mm.
this round, then we've got the Golden Globes, we've got the People's Choice, we've got Emmys, daytime Emmys,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then the Oscars.
Yeah, I think the only thing that was really big for today was just Kristen Stewart. She didn't get
Snubbed.
nominated.
Snubbed.
Yeah, completely snubbed.
That's terrible. I
Wow.
watched one scene of Spencer and I thought she's got this in the bag. I didn't even have to watch the whole movie. Well, I will, but I
Yeah.
didn't. But yeah, I was stunned. I was stunned.
Yeah.
And I don't like the fact that Nicole Kidman gets any honor for playing Lucille Ball. It should have been Deborah Messing. Just gonna leave it there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
think so? You
She
do.
needed a
I
moment.
wasn't.
That could have been her moment, to transition from
Mhm.
silly sitcom girl to,
I agree.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm disappointed with that, but I'm sure it's good, but really disappointed with it. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna drink a little bit more, and I'm gonna
Yep.
watch $1 Million British Homes. I've got it paused. Really, really get myself in a massive depression.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. This has been so fun. It's good to laugh.
Yeah, it's always good to see both of you. It's the thing I look forward to for these months now.
I do too now. I do too. This has been
Same.
great.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled with this. It's
Me too.
fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
listen, let's try and scoop Nick next week too.
Yes, do it.
All right, you guys, have a good night. Good seeing you.
Bye, good to see you.
Like, never stop chasing your dreams. See?
We drank way too much whiskey.
Reach everybody, reach everyone,